The sun will come out tomorrow. Well, if you're not a pitcher with the Houston Astros uniform in the first inning, and if you have an offense that just cannot put a runner in scoring position, and when they do, not score. Let's talk about how we can possibly fix this on tonight's Locked On Astros.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to the prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use the code, all lowercase letters, LockedOnMLB for the first deposit match up to $100. So I know that the Astros went through a little of a extra base hit drought recently. So they broke that today, but unfortunately they didn't break the W count. But when you're not over there begging for a W, Brett, where can they find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on Facebook and at Back to the Bullpen on Instagram and TikTok, where I'm always positive, always Stros. And I've got to correct somebody. Somebody said that the run is over because no team has gone 8 straight ALCS or NLCS. Actually, the Braves went to 8 in a row from 1991 to 1999. So that is actually 8 in a row. The Tomahawk Chop did that. So yeah, look, all hope is not lost yet. It's not time to panic yet. But, and I thought seeing this big stuffed bear at the orthodontist office when I was with my son today with an Astros uniform on was like, hey, this is a sign the Cubs are going to get beat by the Astros. And well, then the first inning happened, Eric.
Yeah. So the Astros have a pitching problem, and it's not all the innings. You can't just blame all 9 innings. It's actually, the stats say it's the first inning and it's the 8th inning and beyond. We could believe that, right, Brett? I mean, the 8th inning is where we have Ryan Presley and Josh Hader. They've been imploding recently. And then, of course, you have poor Seth Martinez and everybody that go out there in extra innings and they struggle. But before I was researching the stats, I didn't realize how bad not only is the Astros pitching in extra or late in the game and in the first inning, but the Astros hitters late in the game. Their OPS is so bad. So let's go and get started with the pitching today. Let's go and take a look at what JP France did, because he exemplifies what the Astros have been doing wrong this year. Go ahead and tell us what France did.
Well, Eric, he could have completely folded and evaporated into nothingness tonight after the first inning because he gave up 5 runs. But after that, he pitched 4 shutout innings, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But how he started is not conducive to a win because this team does not know how to respond in most situations in 2024 and to support their pitchers with offense. Also on 2 pitches in a row, 108.6 and 109.2 exit velocity hits off of JP France.
That's basically a beginning game too. Yeah.
This is the first inning. Yes.
Right.
He got ahead 1-2 on Chris Morel and Dansby Swanson with 2 outs, and he lost them on the walk and a single. Mike Tauchman then hit the 3-run home run. The Astros were down 5-0 in the first inning. Yeah. That's what we're still talking first inning. The first inning, The Astros have given up a 333 average. They've given up 32 hits, a whip of 2.00, and they've surrendered 21 runs. Now, that's actually not the worst. It's third worst. The only teams worse than us, I think, are the Rockies and the Marlins. And in the Locked On MLB.
No, actually, it's not the Marlins. The Dodgers are the ones that have given up the most runs in the first inning.
Yeah, but the Dodgers are in first place.
Well, I think they're second to the Rockies, but yeah.
In the Locked On power rankings, I think we have the Astros. I think it's 22nd, which right now, when we're playing, maybe that's a little too high. Eric, this is insane. This is not like this is supposed to at some point turn around. The bats are supposed to, like Jake Myers hit a home run tonight, but what else happened? I mean,
yeah,
just Eric, I just don't know. Can we eliminate the first inning and the 8th and 9th innings and just play innings 2 through 7?
Well, what you could always do is try to do opener like the Rays tried to do for a little bit and just say, okay, well, we need the extra inning for the pitcher to get warmed up and then go ahead and bring the opener in.
Let's get the league. Okay, Manfred, here's what we're going to do. We're going to spot every team 3 runs in the first inning. Then we know we can at least come back
you
from
want more Manfred rules? What the heck is wrong with you, dude? Well, you're already complaining about all these rules, and you want no. I call bunk on that.
No, you know what's wrong with me? Have you seen this Houston Astros team in 2024? Yeah. 7-17. We're at 292 clip. We've had 131 runs scored against, 98 runs scored, minus 33 differential. Now we're not nearly as bad as the White Sox at 3-20. We're not. I mean, let's see who else has more runs differential than us. Miami does. Colorado. Oakland's got more negative runs than us, but they've got 2 more wins than us.
Yeah.
The Oakland A's beat the Dodgers.
Right.
Like, what kind of purgatory sports hell am I in right now? This is insane.
It gets worse, Brett. It gets worse. So we saw France give up the 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 home runs, 1 walk in the first inning. And so I think an answer, instead of giving each team 3 runs in the first inning, is just don't call it the first inning. Call it 2A and then call the second inning 2B. Then you don't have to worry about that. But it's even worse in this 8th inning and beyond. The Astros pitchers, 8th inning or later, they have allowed a 318 batting average, which is first in baseball. 56 hits, first in baseball. A 1.74 whip, first in baseball. And the second most runs, I believe it was the Phillies that have given up the most in baseball. But this explains why the Astros are struggling. They're 0-5 when they're actually leading after 7 innings. And so it's like the bullpen is just crapping the bed this year, and they can't get it done. And it's sad to say, but it's just like they're struggling so bad this year. And I don't know what the deal is. There's got to be something. The Astros team is basically the same team that we fielded last year.
So, Eric, here's the thing. Before we talk about our sponsors here in a second, I'm going to tell you what Joe Espada says, and I'm going to tell you what it means. Okay? I'm going to tell you what it means, and y'all have got to stay tuned for this, because to me, I'm telling you what I think it means.
Okay.
All right, this episode is brought to you by Monopoly Go. Download Monopoly Go free today at the App Store and Google Play. Listen, I've been playing this game. It is a blast, and you know I'm competitive. You hear it in my voice. You're waiting for that wheelhouse rant. Well, I can tell you that I've been keeping an eye on the leaderboards, and I've been climbing the leaderboards. I've been had a lot more successful at Monopoly Go than the Astros are at baseball this year, and I never thought that those two things would come together, but here we are. I'm talking about the hit mobile game Monopoly Go. You've probably heard of it. It's been downloaded over 150 million times. It's a great mobile twist on the classic Monopoly game. I know as a family, we grew up playing it. It was fun because you got to be the banker. Sometimes you got to make someone go bankrupt. With this, you don't just have one board, you have multiple boards, and you get to climb, and each board has different perks and different advantages to it. You can charge your friends rent on iconic properties or go after their Monopoly money by pulling a bank heist. I did that today. I got like $2.4 million in Monopoly money, not real money, but you can send wrecking balls into landmarks. And my favorite part, again, is the leaderboards and watching people go bankrupt when I'm sitting there winning. That's right. So no matter whether the Astros are in first place or last place, it doesn't matter because I've got Monopoly Go. Get Monopoly Go right now for free on the App Store and Google Play. And this episode is also brought to you by Policy Genius. Policy Genius is here today to help you with amazing. Actually, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is here. Spring training is over. With the way the Astros are playing, you would think it was still in full effect. Get in the playoff action and win 100 times your money with Prize Picks. That's right. Prize Picks, you can play alongside Meek Mill and Sugar Shane O'Malley. You can find community picks. I've been doing it. It's a blast. Turn $10 into $100 in just a few taps. It's simple to play. And I know I can make my picks and submit my entries in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the number one fantasy sports app. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions and special offers and biggest moments in sports. Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this basketball season. The playoffs are here. LeBron James and them are eliminated. I mean, look, the show must go on. So download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's right. I want you to do that and use Prize Picks. Have fun. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
All right, guys. So I know that a lot of us are freaking out. This is probably the worst start since 2016. This is probably the Astros have not been. This is the first time they've been 10 games under 500 since May of 2016. So this is a situation we're not used to being here. So. Right. We don't know what the deal is. There's a lot of different factors. We're just mentioning some things that just happened in today's game, and we can't mention them all. We know the back end of the bullpen has not done what it's supposed to be doing. We spent $95 million on Josh Hader. He has struggled so far. Ryan Presley has not been the same guy. Brian Abreu, while he's getting a little bit more outs, he's still allowing a lot of hits this year. He's not as dominant. And the starters are just getting off to bad starts. So there's something going on here. Something's fishy. But we're also talking about the runners in scoring position, how every game it gets worse and worse for the Astros. Today, it was 2 for 6. Sorry, that's the other one. 1 for 4. But we had our first extra base hits in 100 and something at bats in 30 innings or something, back to back with runners in scoring position today. You had that Tucker double, then who else was it? It was Diaz with a double. Also, that Bellinger kind of misplayed both balls. But before that, the Astros have been kind of not getting any extra base hits. So if you're only hitting singles and you're not getting extra base hits, and you're just not going to get the job done. But Brett, in a second, I'm going to tell you that where the innings that the Astros are struggling with the most with OPS.
Okay, well, before we do that, they're like hitting singles like they're in the club. I'm sorry. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of right now. I mean, we've got to get graphic with our understanding here. I'm sorry. It is just insane what this club is going through. Joe Espada met with several players in the last couple of days to talk about adjustments they need to make and how they should approach the game. These guys are fighters, and these guys are not quitting. I want the guys to understand that this will pass. He said, Tuesday afternoon in the visitors' locker room. But we need to make adjustments. We need to do things different. Our at-bats need to change. How we approach certain parts of the game, we need to make adjustments. Well, I'm here to tell you, folks, the one thing missing in this clubhouse is leadership. And leadership does start with an L. It doesn't mean you got to take the L's. It means you've got to execute. You've got to quit popping the ball up, Bregman, when you have two men on base. You've got to score those runs. You're in a contract year, bro. You're in a contract year. And then you've got right now Alvarez batting 200 the last 10 games. What do you expect him to do? Nobody else is hitting. He started off hot. Jeremy Pena's starting off hot this year. But there's no leadership. Will someone not stand up in the clubhouse like Martin Maldonado did and say, guys, we got to grab life by the horns and we've got to get out there and play like we're not.
Isn't that a commercial?
No, I'm so frustrated right now, dude. I'm so pissed off at this team because there is no backbone to this team right now. I don't want to hear about your experience anymore. I don't want to hear that you've been there 7 years in a row because right now you're not even making it to the playoffs if you keep this crap up. You're not.
Don't back the baseball card.
Tell me about the back of a baseball card. You're better than this. That's what I tell them. If I'm in the clubhouse, I'm like, what is this crap we see on the field? It's excrement. Do we need to bring in a little league team to play your spots? Or hell, do we just need to relegate y'all to AAA and bring up everybody? Because I promise you, Loper, Fido, and Wagner, and Leon, and all these guys are going to come up and play a lot harder than y'all are. The only person that ran worth the flip tonight was Yordan Alvarez beating out that throw at first base. And then what happens? Bregman happens. And Bregman's better than that. Bregman is the man. Bregman was almost an MVP one year. But they all look like they've lost their way. Where is my team? The Rangers have fallen to second place in the AL West. The AL weak as hell. The AL West is like the AFC South the last 4 or 5 years. Anybody can win it. It's a wide open year. Get off your derriere. Get your heads out of your cans. Quit making excuses. Joe Espada, I don't care if this is your rookie year. Take charge of this team. Tell the guys they're terrible. You go out there and you play crappy baseball. You miss pop flies. You muff ground balls. You can't even scoop a ball thrown to you in the dirt at first base. You can't even hit your average. That is your number. That's 79. I mean, what are we doing here? What's the point? At this point, let's just forfeit the season. Let's go to Cancun early. Let's go on the couch and watch the Yankees win their 28th ring. Does that piss you off? Yeah, that pisses me off. Somebody's got to get pissed off. And none of this, I guess we need to execute. No. Like, you know what? Refuse to talk to the media for one night. Say we're so pissed off we can't talk. Because we got to take care of some crap back at the hotel. And nobody's going to sleep until we figure out 3 things we're going to do tomorrow to defeat the mother freaking Cubs. The Cubs, they're not world beaters. So I'm done. Put me in that clubhouse. I'll light a fire under their AWS. I promise you that. And they will play different. They will play different. We don't play the Cubs because it's easy. We play the Cubs because it's hard. It's not how many times you get knocked down or whether you get knocked down. It's what you do when you get knocked down. Do you get up? That's what it's about. Lick your wounds and move on because nobody feels sorry for you. You're the laughingstock of Major League Baseball. We're not the Rockies. We're not the Marlins, but we're not even good enough to be in the conversation with them. I'm done.
All right, so Alex Bregman, I don't know if you mentioned this earlier. He said every game now is a must-win because they put themselves in position. No team, there's maybe one team in history that has come back from this bad a start to go to the postseason. There's still a chance, but for there to be a chance, you got to start winning. And here's how you're not going to win. You're not going to win having OPS of 347 in extra innings. That's 26 in baseball. What about 8th inning or later? We got it. This is a clutch time. This is where you got to go ahead and get the big hit. At 8th inning or later, the Astros have a 496 OPS. Ready for this, Brett? It is 29th in baseball. So 8th inning or later, they're not getting the big hits and there. 9th inning, they're actually got 632 OPS, which is not bad. But 8th inning, extra innings, they're terrible. What inning would you don't look at? I know I have it on the chart, but which inning do you think that they actually hit the best in? OPS wise,
7th inning.
That is actually their second best inning. They have a 906 OPS, and they're second in baseball. Actually, the 4th inning. They are first in baseball with a 952. So if you go back and look at most of the games, you're going to see the Astros do most of their scoring the second time through the lineup when they see the pitcher. So that I guess that's just what it is. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not saying that the Yordan Alvarez thing batting second is the reason why the Astros are here, but at some point you got to try something different.
If it was that easy, I wish it was just that.
I know
that would be easy to solve. Just move him in the lineup. But Yordan needs to see more pitches, guys. Look, I still look. I will ride with this team. I've ridden with this team in 100+ win seasons 3 years in a row. I've ridden before that. So I get it. But you know what? Right now, I want to talk to you guys about DoorDash. Maybe you're hungry now. That's right. DoorDash is here today to talk to you about all the things.
I'll put it.
Yes, his DoorDash. Okay, thank you. All right, so here we go. 50% off your next order when you order up to $15. When you spend $15 on your next flour, convenience, grocery, or retail order on DoorDash. Incorporate these things into your life. If you want to make mom smile this Mother's Day, then you need to surprise her maybe with flowers. Maybe you can get them delivered from DoorDash. You could order them same day. A mom's gift will make her feel special as she's made you feel special and been there for you. Select from hundreds of expertly crafted bouquets to the best of tech to self-care essentials and more delivered right to her door. It's never too late to show mom your love this Mother's Day with DoorDash. Surprise mom with flowers, gadgets, and self-care essentials. That's right. Shop with savings that you can make her proud. With the Dash Pass membership, you'll save with a $0 delivery fee and reduced service fees on eligible orders from DoorDash merchants that meet the minimum subtotal. Other fees, including service fee, may apply. The terms do apply in all situations. Get your Mother's Day gifts all in one place. Get 50% off your next order. Again, up to $15 when you spend $15+ on your next flour, convenience, grocery, or retail store using the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKED MLB when you order with DoorDash today. Terms do apply.
Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check us out. But go and check out the Locked On Astros postcast with Michael Connor. He does a great job after every game, win or lose. He's going to talk about everything that happened in a game. And shortly after that, you'll see the Locked On Astros podcast, which you can also watch on your Amazon Fire TV on the free channels app, or you can watch it on YouTube. And you can go and check out Locked On Sports Day, which is the first 24 streaming platform out there that's got all the news you need to know right now.
All right, Eric. So my question is, where do we go from here? How do we
go to Cancun? You already said it.
Well, no, but we got to go we're going to Mexico. That doesn't mean we're going to Cancun.
Yeah.
That's
so
I was referencing going to Cancun. I was talking about like taking the rest of the year off and vacationing. Yeah, obviously the Mexico City games are coming up. I actually know several people going. I'm pretty jealous because that stadium's supposed to yield a lot of home runs. I was like, and look, the Astros can still win the next two games against Chicago. It's not impossible. I mean, I mean, I've seen a lot of things happen in my life that seemed impossible, and they came through.
Right.
Jesus turned water into wine, so there's that. And maybe the Astros can win 2 games. I mean, miracles happen. You got to believe.
Right. And I know that Jake Myers, he crushed that first pitch home run, and it was a 4-seam fastball right into the wind. But all the Astros had to do was put the ball in the air today, and the ball would have carried. And they just couldn't find the way of making it happen today. So you mentioned Cancun earlier. So the Astros are trying to kind of plan the trip to Mexico City, and who's going to be on that team, because the Astros do get to carry 27 players, but that extra player does have to be a position player. So you can't carry extra pitcher. And Joe Espada is like, oh, please give me extra pitcher. But according to the rule, it has to be extra player. So who could you bring up? I know everybody's like, oh, bring up Joey Loperfido. I would love for him to come up. I just don't think that the Astros are going to do it. He doesn't have enough time in AAA. He still strikes out a lot. I think they're going to give him some more time in AAA. I think you'll see him come June, like June 5th or around that Super 2 deadline. I think that's when you're going to see Joey Loperfido come up. So who do you have as options? You have Hensley, Corey Julks, or Cesar Salazar. Keep in mind that Cesar Salazar could allow you to play Victor Caratini at first base.
Yeah, I was going to say that, because I would love to have, I would love to have this. I would love to have Caratini at first, Yainer Diaz catching, and Salazar as your backup. If you need to remove Diaz from the game, then that way you have your backup catcher, because you put Caratini at first and your backup catcher has been in the field the whole game. You don't necessarily want to put him from a position squatting down behind the plate after that, because you're a little bit more tired and all that stuff. So that would allow them to put both of those guys in the lineup, because right now, look, and I mean, I showed this last night, Eric. I mean, Caratini's part of one of the higher OPSs WRC plus on the team right there, 107 with Caratini. I would love to have Caratini and Diaz in the lineup at the same time. It would, and Caratini he's also switch hits, but he hits all his home runs from the left side of the plate. So I would have him in there for sure. Like, got to hit lefty. I don't care if you hit a lefty, hit left-handed, because we got to hit bombs. This is the perfect opportunity. This is Super Coors Field. The ball freaking flies. They hit 28 home runs last time they were down there. It's like some crazy number of home runs between San Diego and I forget who they played, but golden opportunity. You still have an opportunity to take. You can still take the series, guys. There's still 2 games left. It's not over. Imagine having a winning series and then going to Mexico City and winning another series, and then guess what? You've won. You would go what? Would you go 5-3? No. What would you? No, you would go. Yeah. So because you lost 2 in Washington, okay. So if you win 2 in Chicago, then you're 3-3 going away. You get 2 games. You could have a 5-3 road trip, and all of a sudden things look better. Imagine that. Winning fixes everything. Can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, your exit real quick, Brett, and come back in.
Let's say
all right. So Joe Espada also said that Framber Valdez is set to make possibly his return to the rotation Saturday or Sunday in Mexico City, assuming that he goes through his bullpen fine. So that could be some good news, and another bit that the Astros need to get back on track. Because remember when the Astros started the season with one of the best rotations in baseball, because they had the best ERA? Part of the reason was Framber Valdez. They had everybody seemed to be in a good groove, and then all of a sudden they started losing Framber Valdez and stuff like that. So the question is, what do we do to fix this problem? We're going to have to be patient. And I was talking to some of my friends at work today, It is April 23rd right now. Tomorrow will be April 24th. We pray that May brings Astros wins. It's like a flip of the book.
I would
suddenly everything that happened bad happens good, because there's been so much bad luck. Like Jose Abreu, he had so many good hits today, so many good swings today, but the two of them were line drives that the second baseman caught. The other one was it wasn't that good a drive, but it was a deep drive to right field, and he looked like he was swinging the bat a little bit better, but he's now 0 for 24, 25. So it stinks.
Here's an idea. Mr. Wynn says, can we play the White Sox all the remaining games? No, because they'd probably beat us right now.
Yes.
We can't win for losing, man. Look, what has to happen is this team. I don't know. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done for the
all
night.
Right. Tomorrow, Spencer Arrighetti is going to be facing Jameson Taillon. This could be an interesting matchup. We'll see if Arrighetti can improve on what he's done. He already made the adjustment the second time around. Let's see what type of adjustment he makes the third time around. But the Astros need to do better. We know the Cubs have a good lineup, and the Cubs are a fairly good team. So all we could do is just go out there and play our best baseball. And we know that this team is better than they show. So that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey, and we will see you tomorrow. And go Astros.